Hi everyone, and it's Thursday, and this week it's superheroes. I'm just wait. I got a 7 o'clock showing of Suicide Squad with Mark later tonight. I'm basically just shooting to shit at the moment before I have to go and do stuff. But I do have a video or two to do. So we're talking about superheroes, and in this subject, we're talking about something that recently came up in the past week. That Avengers Infinity Wars Part 1 and 2 is not actually. They retitled them. So now it's just Avengers Infinity War, and then they have a new untitled Avengers movie after that. So, that raises a lot of questions. Originally, with Infinity War Part 1 and 2, you would think that the Infinity War story arc and storyline, Infinity Gauntlet, Thanos, the whole shebang, was more or less going to continue out from... Sorry, I just wasn't on my chair there. Was more or less going to continue on. It was going to be too far. Like Infinity War Part 1, it's him legitimately going out and collecting all the Infinity Stones, eventually getting him by the end of the movie. In the actual Infinity War itself, the Infinity Gauntlet storyline, where they all take him on, and so many people are gone, dead, and stuff like that. Lady Death shows up. All that stuff would happen in the second movie. Well, that's not to say that's not going to happen. Because we don't know what the title for the next Avengers Infinity War or Avengers movie is. And in a comment, they said that when we're in like the storyboard room with the Russo brothers, we got one panel for all the art concepts going on in Avengers Infinity War, got a secondary panel of storyboards for all the for a lot of the images happening in the second Avengers movie, and then we have this third one with all the remaining living characters like baseball card photos of each character that's both alive and dead. So they have like organized which characters are still around, which character isn't. Which makes actually a lot of sense. Because in the Infinity War story arc, or Infinity Gauntlet story arc, for those of you fans watching this not knowing what happens there, Thanos gets all 6 Infinity Gems, essentially making him a god. There are actually things in the Marvel Universe that actually trump the Infinity Gauntlet in terms of power, but it's not a lot. So basically, he had a snap of his fingers to please Lady Death, the physical embodiment of death, one of the cosmic beings. He snaps his fingers and eliminates half the life in the universe, including half the heroes that exist on Earth too. So half of everyone in the galaxy is dead. Universe is dead. So the remaining heroes, I believe brought by Adam Warlock, go out to fight Thanos, and they continually get their asses kicked. A lot of them do not make it out. Wolverine, for instance, gets rubberfied. His adamantium gets turned to rubber. Hulk gets smashed. The Galactus and all the Eternals that are still running turn to statue. So many of them get so jacked up and destroyed. But by the end of it, they end up convincing Thanos that he can't do it, and he goes to stop himself, and then basically resets everything, more or less. I'm paraphrasing. Read the story. It's actually a great story. One of the best Marvel stories around. At least back from the day. So that's how that happens. And if the second Avengers movie is dealing with the death in the new Avengers team, as they put it, of a lot of Avengers characters, that actually still falls into line with the Infinity War, Infinity Gauntlet story arc that he finally gets the Gauntlet gems, and like let's say in the last 10 minutes he eliminates half the life in the universe, and literally he just snaps his fingers, by the way, eliminates half the life in the universe, and then we see like what the next Avengers roster is going to be, leading up into them confronting him at the end of in the next movie. So whatever maybe Infinity Gauntlet or something like that, I don't know. Point being is that it's untitled right now, the second movie. The question then becomes, what Avengers don't make it out of the Infinity War story? To answer that question, we gotta look at two things. The impact of a character in the Marvel Universe, and the actor themselves, how marketable they are to Marvel. Right after that, Chris Evans is not going to die. Captain America is going to live through both, because they said he's on set for 9 months. You don't be on set for 9 months. You don't take that big a time out of your schedule unless you're in both movies. Apart from that, though, Tony Stark, I think, is one that still makes it through. And hell, that would like having like Rhodes or Pepper be one of the people who dies would be a very strong motivator. Gwyneth Paltrow was not in Civil War. I think contract disputes and whatnot. But having Rhodes, Thanos killed Rhodes in one of the newest Infinity incarnations. So Rhodes is a very big possibility. Pepper, we can make the argument she could die off screen. It kind of sucks, but whatever. Then you get into the other main core. Hulk. Hulk's interesting because they did actually kill Hulk in the Civil War, recent Civil War, Civil War 2. I'm pretty sure they did. And we have a different Hulk besides Banner. But Hulk is still a very interesting, marketable character. You just can't. It's hard for him to do a solo movie on his own. But he's still a marketable character, still entertaining. But he could stand a possible chance. Thor, I think, is one that could actually die. Like Chris Hemsworth's Thor could die, and we could see the female Thor rise. Or Valkyrie became Thor's. Yeah, no, actually, Jane Foster. We're not saying Natalie Portman again. But Valkyrie, they're introducing Valkyrie and Thor Ragnarok. She could take on the mantle of Thor. That could be cool. So Thor's a possibility, though, and he could die in a very badass action sequence too. He doesn't have to die through the Infinity Gauntlet thing. I don't think any of our core members, besides maybe Hawkeye, could easily bite it. So could honestly Scarlet Witch, Black Widow, even though they've been. Wade Foggy's been talking about it. I think they're going to do the solo Black Widow movie at some point. So it's a little touch and go. No, Iron Man, Hulk, and I think Cap are pretty safe right now. Thor could go which way. I wouldn't be surprised if Thor dies. Hulk, I think, is also safe, but could. And 1 second, Dominic, you're not chewing on the chair. Just let me be certain. I still got to take that one. She did chew on out. Hawkeye, I think he's a very good candidate to just bite it. Because of what they did with Ant-Man actually moving something around and making a slot for Ant-Man sequel, if they did the same with Black Widow, I could see Black Widow biting it. But I wouldn't guarantee it. And that's like the core. Nick Fury, I could see biting it. As opposed to, then you got to go into the new characters too that have been introduced in recent years. So, I mean, just thinking about what we have right now, we got Guardians of the Galaxy. Any of the Guardians are kind of expendable. I mean, we love them, but if you really think about it, the Guardians roster, like the Avengers roster, changes. We're already getting. They've already announced like Yondu is going to be part of the the Guardians now. Mantis is a character who's going to be part of the Guardians. So. The Guardians roster can change very much like the Avengers roster can. Hell, Iron Man and Venom have been part of the Guardians of the Galaxy before. So any of the Guardians, I think, are up for grabs in terms of dying. I don't think we'll see Scott Lang die. I think Scott Lang's fine. He's safe. There's more stories to tell. We already got a sequel coming. Him and Wasp are going to be okay. Spider-Man's good. Spider-Man ain't going nowhere. He ain't going nowhere. Anyway, sorry, but no, he's fine. He's got a good little plot shield, studio shield against around him. Same with Black Panther. I don't think we're gonna see Black Panther bite it. Vision. Because the thing about Vision is, we don't know if he can survive without the Infinity Stone in his head. He's not necessarily powered by the Infinity Stone. He's just got the Infinity Stone in him. I think he could probably live without the Infinity Stone in him. But if he dies from it being extracted by Thanos, or whoever takes it and gives it to Thanos, I won't be shocked. Quicksilver's still dead. They actually were ballsy and had kept him dead so far. Though, again, with the way the Infinity Gauntlet and the storyline could work, you could bring him back. Sebastian Stan, Winter Soldier, if he gets brought back, could easily die. Scarlet Witch, I think, is fine simply because of the way our powers work. Same with Doctor Strange. I think he's safe. Brie Larson's Captain Marvel is one of the strongest in the Marvel roster, so I think she's also fine. Because she's also got her own movie and coming out very close around that time, as long as with the other Avenger movies. So I think you don't introduce her or have her own solo movie just to kill her off. I think she's safe as well. Now, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I've missed so far. The Inhumans movies have been canceled. I think that's all the ones that they've announced so far. Now, besides maybe a couple of the other similar Avengers, like Captain America maybe still being alive, who else could we possibly bring in for... I mean, we know Adam Warlock's going to show up. That's a given. They even announced the Cocoon in the Collector's Chamber had Adam Warlock. But who else? I mean, there's plenty of Marvel characters. Just the ones that pop off in my head right now. Assuming they get the Fantastic Four back, they can reintroduce the Fantastic Four. The Runaways, I would love to see the Runaways. The Runaways. Sentry is one that would be very difficult, but he's a more interesting Superman. First off, he's kind of like Shazam in that he can turn into Sentry. And a lot of time he stays as Sentry. But he's so powerful he can have a relationship with Rogue. Rogue's abilities don't affect him. So I was like, yeah. But he's a supremely damaged and psychotic Superman in some sense. And that's pretty cool, actually. He's an interesting version of Superman. So I think it'd be awesome to see Sentry. Galactus, if they bring him back. Any of the Fantastic Four villains could be very cool to see if they bring them back in. They have so many characters. Like Submariner, if we might see Submariner return, because it's rumored they're getting him back. I did a whole video on that. You can check that out. I mean, just thinking of Marvel characters off the top of my head is tricky because there are a lot, and some of them aren't necessarily A-listers. But Iron Man wasn't an A-lister until Iron Man came out, and now look at him now. He's probably one of the most popular superheroes there is. Yeah, I'm actually struggling to... I mean, you got the Defenders on Netflix, so really bringing any of those guys in right now is not going to work. I don't know, if you could think of any other Marvel character, because I'm actually having some difficulties, because now I feel like they're running out of the law. They're real marketable guys. Oh, Moon Knight's another one that needs to show up. They've even talked about bringing Moon Knight, I think, to Netflix, but I could see an actual movie for him, too. But, yeah, if you can think of... any actual because that's the problem. Without going into X-Men territory, it actually does become a little difficult to think of some characters or Fantastic Four. So it is a little on the harder side. But if you can think of any character you'd like to see get their own movie or just appear in future Marvel movies, please. I'd love to get some of your ideas and look them up. Other than that, though, I'm not worried. I don't think the second part, what originally was the second part, is going to actually be a really much separate movie in terms of its plot. I think it's going to be a continuation kind of movie, but it's going to be a different title with different characters because half the characters die. So, that's my thoughts on that. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. So, I'll be back in a little bit with one more video. It's a magic-related video. I'll also be back later tonight with Suicide Squad review. So, until then, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.